Alignment simply says if vision gives us a sense of direction and community is the who has to go there, alignment is how do I as a leader get this group of people to head in that direction. Now there's clearly two views of that. If you break the world down simply, there's a mechanical view, which means I'm paying your salary. If you don't do this, I'm going to fire you. And in some ways that might seem an easy way of getting alignment. It's not as easy as it sounds, because if that community is 500 people, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 people, how do you keep an eye on them all the time? You make sure that they're doing everything that you told them to do. So that kind of autocratic approach, you need a lot of policemen, you need a lot of foremen, supervisors. It's an expensive way to do things. And it doesn't always work. And there's another way where you get everyone together and you say, look, this is where we need to go. And these are the important things we need to achieve together. And everyone goes, great, Craig, we share that sense of direction and off we're going to go. And that just isn't as easy as it sounds either, because people aren't sheep. And they all woke up this morning feeling different and having different attitudes, and we have to get through those issues before we can even talk about sense of direction. So this alignment issue, once you've set up the vision and you're clear about what you want to do, I would say the greatest work of the leader is alignment. How do you get people to work together and head in a certain direction? When I'm talking to 1 or 20 or 200 or 2,000 people, the first step is, do they understand where we need to go? Now that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the one who's setting the direction. It could have come from a group of consultants. It doesn't matter where that vision came from. But achieving a shared understanding is not a simple process. We need to move through the phases of looking at it the way I see it, looking at it the way you see it, and getting to some point of looking at it the way we are going to see it. So some shared sense of what that journey is going to look like. And trying to skip that step or trying to do it too quickly always backfires. Once we've got shared understanding, we need to decide about acceptance. You know that feeling when you have a conversation and say, where do you want to go again? Oh, you want to go there? Well, I don't. And we've got to manage that decision for the whole community. Once we're clear about where to go, is everybody happy to go there? Smaller step, but an important one. And then the third big step, accountability. I'm not going to be the only one accountable for getting us there. So if we share the sense of direction, which part of the journey are you going to be accountable for? Who's going to carry what part of the load? Now that accountability step, that sense of ownership happens there. When people say, I understand my role and I will help us get there. Now if you can get those three things right, the leader's job then is to patrol that and try and constantly keep that sense of shared direction clear. Remind people why they wanted to go there. Help people remember what their sense of ownership and accountability was going to be, and do whatever's necessary to keep that momentum going. One of the best lessons I've had recently on alignment is from the conductor of the Boston Philharmonic, Benjamin Zander. Ben says transformational change is lighter, brighter, sexier. It's got a different feel. It's like a skip and not a march. And he looked me in the eye and said, Craig, sometimes some of that work you're doing feels a bit more like a march, and you need a bit more skip in your step. And again, the lesson for me right now is I understand a lot of stuff about alignment. But man, if it's not fun, if it's too heavy, nobody wants to go with you anyway. So, lighten it up a little, jazz it up a little, and that's going to help a lot.